Come on, let's get nuts.
Let's get nutty. Let's get naked gunny. I don't know what I'm even talking about. What's happening, guys? Welcome to Film Junkee, not so live. That's right, not so live. Premiering this, like I said, just a new thing I'm trying on Wednesday. Trying to premiere it at the same time and everything. Hopefully you guys are doing good. We don't have a ton to talk about today. You know, it is Wednesday. Sometimes, you know, not a lot of news out there and everything, but still got things to talk about. Obviously, we're going to be talking about some, you know, DC news. We're going to be talking about, of course, that Superman guy and box office, which, man, I tell you what. Man, who would have known that the Superman box office would have, you know, had such a big discourse and just basic terminology when it comes to movies. Who knew that people just couldn't understand that because of narratives? So yeah, naturally be talking about that. We actually have a new video too from James Gunn talking about canon and the DCU that just came out. I'm like, hey, there we go. There's something to talk about right there. So definitely gonna be talking about that. We got a new Marvel Studios article talking about more things when it comes to the MCU. And then of course the Naked Gun reviews are in. And then we got our first look at Brad Pitt in the Cliff Booth Once Upon a Time in Hollywood follow-up. It just doesn't seem real still. I'm like, what the hell is actually happening? So cheers, guys. It is Wine Wednesday, so I poured myself a hefty glass. Cheers. Oh. And I'll be in the chat. And we're still going to be doing a members-only stream after this. So yes, hit that like thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all the things, and I'll be in the chat, so I'll be responding to some of you guys and everything. So it's always fun to be out there in the chat. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. And yeah, like I said, a members only stream after this. And then we already pre-recorded a DC Fanimated that's going to premiere, you know, that I'll set up premiere for at 8 because Scott had to work tonight, so we recorded actually yesterday. So if you are a watcher, if you are an avid watcher of DC Fanimated, guess what? You're going to get a pre-recorded show, but it's just going to be like the same thing. It's not like there's no edits or anything, just like here. It's just, everything's just not so live today. Not so live. All right, let's start off right here. And Matt Shakman. Okay, so this is, obviously when it came to now, I mean, spoilers when it comes to Fantastic Four. So if you haven't seen Fantastic Four, cover your ears. Please cover your ears. Or, you know, turn it down for a little bit. But, yeah, so if you haven't seen Fantastic Four, when it comes to any kind of post-credit scenes, well, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what's interesting, you know, especially when it comes to Marvel Studios. It's what irks me about Marvel Studios is like, yeah, you're still part of the Marvel Studios. You're still part of the big machine, okay? And I think this is where it kind of works against them and it works against the filmmakers. And I kind of feel bad for Mr. Matt Shakman right here because, I mean, obviously his movie got chopped up and everything. I mean, the movie had a successful opening weekend. You know, when it comes to the drop, there's projections that the drop actually might be a little hefty, but we'll see what happens. I'm not going to talk about that necessarily, but they're already projecting of what Fantastic Four is going to be making this weekend. But, you know, we'll see. Like I said, I mean, we got Naked Gun. I don't know. That's besides the point. We'll talk about it on Monday's show. But, you know, it's just that post-credit scene that we saw in Thunderbolts, you know, I think a lot of us went into Fantastic Four going, oh, we're probably going to see where that leads to, how that comes to be when we see the ship show up. And we didn't. And Matt Shakman right here, he actually commented about such things. Let's see, Matt Shakman on why the new Avengers didn't appear in the Fantastic Four First Steps post-credit scene. The Thunderbolts end credit scene was also created, you know, relatively late in the process too. So that was not something that I was familiar with because it hadn't been created at the time that I was working on my script. No shit. Yeah, no, that's the thing. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to repurpose that scene. How much you want to bet that scene ends up getting a little bit repurposed? I just have a feeling, you know? But it was a little disappointed going, wait a minute, we're not going to see what led to that? All right, I guess we're going to see it with Doomsday. Or not. We might not even see it with Doomsday. That's what's so weird. Because it's just, you know, sometimes they're writing things as they go along. Doomsday, according to Rebecca Romaine, the script is still being written. So God knows what's going to be happening with that. I think Kevin Feige, if it was possible for him to lose more hair, Maybe he'll start losing like skin on the top of his head. I don't know. It just seems like he's still trying to hold this goddamn thing together. And it's difficult. Absolutely difficult. And oh my God, guys, it's happening. Yay. What are we going to call them? Okay, so Tom de Armas. Tom, no, that doesn't really work. Ana, what do we call it? Like de Cruz? Cruz Armas? I don't know. But yes, it's been confirmed, guys. I'm sure it's going to go to the distance, but yes, Tom Cruise and Ana de Armas, they're in a relationship. It was already suspected. They're working on a movie together, and why not? Unless this is part of the movie, but obviously he looks really suspicious right there. Boy, does she move around, doesn't she? But, it's whatever. I mean, it's quite the age difference, but at the same time, who cares? They're both adults. It doesn't really matter. I know people go, ew, but hey, if they're having a good time, they're having a good time. He doesn't look like he's, 60, what was he, 60-something? She's 37, he's 63. Hey, whatever. If they're going to have a good time, have a good time. Hey, get yours. Just hopefully she doesn't all of a sudden become a Scientologist. That's probably what's going to end up happening, right? We're going to find out that Ana de Armas is going to eventually be a Scientologist. That would be crazy. Oh, please let this happen. Please let this happen. Neil Blomkamp. Do you guys remember Oats Studios? Remember that little miniseries that was on like Netflix, which was kind of crazy. It was kind of Black Mirror-ish, kind of Love, Death Robots-esque when it came to that. Well, he's teasing it again, bring back Oats. So I'm kind of like, okay, does this mean that is happening, Neil? Is it not? Do you want them to? What is happening? Because I would like to see, because I thought that anthology was pretty damn good. Some interesting little chapters when it came to Oats Studios. I was like, Jesus Christ. And you got to love those, Even though it's like, okay, can I get a full-length version of some of these stories? I think about that, too, when it comes to other anthology series. I'm like, can I get a full-length version of that? That's a pretty cool idea. That could be fleshed out just a little bit more. But probably not going to happen. Who knows? Who knows? This is pretty sweet right here. I'm not sure who made it. Rico? I think it's Rico. Is it Rico? No, I don't know who made it. The signature is right there, and I can't see it. But, I appreciate art. I love art. I love when people create art, especially on existing things, especially when it comes to the superhero genre. And we got the animated series world, of course, the Bruce Timm animated series. When it comes to Batman and Superman, so we got the world's finest right here. I cannot exactly... It looks like it's Rico Jr. I don't know. I think it might be. It looks like it. I can't really tell. It's a little blurry, but check out this little split right here when it comes to Batman and Superman. Just looking out like that. You got their logos. You got Metropolis and Gotham, red and blue. They line up perfectly. They're back to back. And then, of course, we get a silhouette right there of the Joker and Lex Luthor. Jesus, I want this on my wall. You got the blimps in the background and everything. You got the Daily Planet silhouette right there. Ah, that is perfect. That's absolutely perfect. I'm trying to see, is that... I think it might be, what's his name? Rico Jr. That one, yeah. Oh, come on, load. What are you doing? Oh, Twitter, you're killing me. You're killing me, Twitter. Come on. You're killing me. All right, here we go. All right, guys. Someone's going to have to explain this to me. Really explain this to me, okay? Please. What is it about nowadays when it comes to, fandoms? Any fandoms. This is shown in sports, and of course it's shown in, comic book fandoms and whatnot. Somebody's got to explain to me when people spend time and money to purchase things or go places or whatever to try to prove points. They try to prove points. I guess they're trying to win brownie points. I don't know exactly what they're trying to do here, but there's this video right here that kind of just like blew everybody's mind. It was like going all over the place, and it's very, very interesting, where somebody really did not like James Gunn's Superman. Not really at all. So check this out. Let's go ahead and do a little play-by-play right here. Check out this guy. So he's wearing a new Superman shirt. He almost stabs himself and he cuts it.
It's the Superman that we need.
Okay.
This is the S. I hate this S. It fills me with such rage.
Fills me with such rage. Okay. There you go. All right. Change the hat. Up. Show the little abs you might have. You've been working out. That's better. Okay, so you bought the hat, you bought the shirt to rip it up. Okay, so you already spent money. Oh, you got a Superman. You got a new Superman poster right here.
This is not about you.
Ripping, okay, let's rip that off. Oh, crypto? Oh, don't do it to crypto.
Guilty by association.
Guilty by association. Oh, you ripped them right in half. What are we doing here? No! Oh, what else? Oh, we got some buckets. We got popcorn bucket. What's going on with that? What are you going to do with the popcorn bucket? No, oh, you're taking the cups. You're throwing it in the popcorn bucket with the little figurines on top. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, he's got even McFarlane's and some figurines. Got to throw it in the bucket. Oh, no. Trash. Okay. Keep going.
Hashtag super shit.
Okay. Hashtag super shit. All right. Anybody tallying up how much money this guy spent on this stuff already? Oh, we got a Funko Pop. We got a Funko Pop now. What else we got? Anything?
All we have now is what's come before and the comic books. I'm fine with that. I'm sticking with it.
Okay, but why'd you buy all the new stuff?
Of course, I said I was making a cape. There's a cape.
He's got a cape.
There's the S I made. I think I did a pretty good job.
Okay, but that's the new S. I thought you hated that S.
I don't need it.
You don't need it after you made it? Okay.
This is my S. This is my cape.
That is your S. Nice S.
I don't need a new one.
Okay. Yikes. Again, spent all that money. Now, I don't know the context fully. I don't even know who that is. Physical Media Forever posted this right here. Now, they titled that on Twitter saying Snyder cult member buys Superman merchandise and destroys it. There was no indication that was a Snyder cult member. I didn't see anything like Man of Steel. He'd probably be wearing the Man of Steel shirt, doing all that. So I think he's that description is not good. But I'm just kind of going like, so was this guy like excited for it? Was he totally excited for it and bought the merch and was ready to go, and then was so disappointed by it that he had to make the video and had to destroy things that he purchased already? It was just kind of like, I don't know. This whole thing about winning brownie points by destroying things that you already have purchased yeah. You see it with sports. You see people burning jerseys. You've seen that, and I don't get it. Was that satisfactory that he destroyed that? I mean, I guess it's going around, but man, we must do better. Where's that meteor or asteroid? Is that happening anytime soon? I don't know. Anyways, disturbed. He's a little disturbed, I would say. He got a little upset. My God. Robert Pattinson, I tell you what. The next 3 movies that Robert Pattinson is in, I mean, pretty crazy if you think about it. It's really crazy if you think about it. He filmed scenes for The Odyssey, so that's coming out. He is now filming for Dune Part 3. And then, after that, he's going to be in the Batman Part 2. Robert Pattinson, that's right. Good old Edward Scullin, I forgot his name. You know, Edward, that little fucking pale vampire dude. Little did we know that he was going to be like a renowned and just like, wow, look at the fucking filmography that this guy is going to create. That's pretty awesome. Christopher Nolan, Downey Villeneuve, and then of course Matt Reeves. I mean, Jesus Christ, just right there. I mean, that's pretty crazy. I mean, obviously he's already been in a Christopher Nolan movie. This is the first time he's working with Downey. So I think, right? He wasn't in anything else now. And then, of course, working with Matt Reeves again. But it's just kind of crazy what he's got next for him. That little gangster. But that's nothing compared to the money that Robert Downey Jr. made with Marvel Studios. Jesus. I mean, this is pretty much going to be part of what we're going to be talking about. But I just had to emphasize this right here when it came to the tweets. If you guys saw this right here, but I mean, Robert Downey Jr. There's a reason why he can't. I don't know how much money that he needs to make and how much more he's going to be getting. He's probably going to make $1 billion. We're going to find something where he's going to has made $1 billion with Marvel Studios, because sources say Robert Downey Jr. has earned between $500 million and $600 million over the course of 7 Marvel movies and 3 cameos, and won't be working at a discount on Avengers Doomsday. We already kind of heard that. Obviously, for what, 1 movie, possibly 2. He's already, There's also that past movie that, so it's kind of makes you wonder. It's like, yeah, he actually is going to make $1 billion with Marvel Studios. I think he did. Hey, he started the whole thing. It's quite the comeback, if you think about it. Quite the comeback that Robert Downey Jr. had, being arrested, the drug addiction and everything. And he was basically almost getting blacklisted, and he just made this comeback pretty insane. Pretty damn insane that happened. But hey, you know what? You go to jail, you clean up, you work your ass off. It can happen. It can happen. Let's see. What else we have? Oh, Foo Fighter fans. Hey, you guys know I'm a big Foo Fighter fan. Whoops, did I just hit something? No, we're good. We're good. Foo Fighter fans. Looks like the Foo Fighters have their new drummer. And this is kind of interesting because, I've talked about the Foo Fighters as my all-time favorite band. And, of course, the late, great Taylor Hawkins, one of the best drummers, if not the best drummer. One of the best drummers, He's my favorite drummer. Passed away a few years ago, which was really sad. Man, I still remember that night because I started the Vodka stream, and then 15 minutes in, I hear about it. And I just did a whole tribute to him, and then I couldn't go on because it just hit me. That was one of those celebrity deaths that hit you. It's a rare that it hits you. It hits me at least. But yeah, they had Josh Freese, who was their drummer for the past couple of years, and it seemed like he was just a perfect fit, and it was gonna stay that way. I saw them last year. It's all sounded great and everything, but then we find out that they just let him go. And it was like very interesting and weird. And then a lot of people were thinking that Taylor Hawkins' kid, Shane, who has performed with the Foo Fighters numerous times, that he actually might be taking over because now Shane is 18, maybe, I think. I don't know. But that's not happening, which, yeah, that makes sense. Foo Fighters and Nine Inch Nails have taken each other's drummers. Sources confirm that Nine Nails, I think it's Ilan Rubin, has been tapped as the Foo's next drummer 2 months after the band parted ways with Josh Freese. Freese, meanwhile, is replacing him in the Nails. So there you go. A little like, hey, you take him. We don't want him. Can we take your guy? I mean, it's just so weird about the whole thing. Very interesting and weird, but apparently that's the thing right now. That is the thing. So that was just like the latest thing when it came to that. I'm like, okay, interesting. That's fine. As long as you guys have a drummer, and when you go in on tour, I'll probably, whenever they come around here, of course, I'm probably going to see them. All right. All right, let's talk about some DC things. What's going on in the DC world? Not much like news, of course. Of course, it's not a lot of news, but we're going to be, just kind of bringing in, just things that are posted. Just that's all we're doing is just kind of showing things that are posted. And, we got that. I mean, I think that's pretty much, there's not much. Like I said, there's not a ton. We got some behind the scenes right here. Well, we got some behind the scenes of, good old Mr. Handsome. It's just that costume, that thing cannot be comfortable, whoever's underneath there, Mr. Handsome. And then, of course, here's a shot right here of Lex Luthor, A Better World. And then, of course, he does have Mr. Handsome on his desk. James Gunn, he actually posted, let me see here, let me pull up what James Gunn posted when it came to Mr. Handsome, because I was just looking at DC Film news right there. But let's also, I gotta correlate it with James Gunn and what he's been posting. Again, I think Gunn and everybody just kind of knows, like, hey, post. We're in the digital, we're in the internet world. You got to post. You got to just post and post. Now I can't find it, of course. I thought he posted something about Mr. Handsome. Come on, where are you? Oh, there it is. Okay, so So when it comes to Mr. Handsome, so if you're wondering exactly where he came from, here we go. When people ask me my favorite character from Superman, it just might be Mr. Handsome. Lex created Mr. Handsome in a petri dish when he was 12. He was trying to make a human. He didn't come out so well, but he just might be the only one in the world of Lex has any true sentiment for, as evidenced by the photo on the desk. So this is the only person that Lex actually true has a sentiment for. Our Mr. Handsome was portrayed by the wonderful Trevor Newland. So there he is trying to pee. That must be hard. And we got like that. We got the fan club, and then we got him wearing a nose, and then of course we saw that with Eve, and then we got some more too. God damn, that must have been just very difficult. I wonder how hot he is in there. And then another selfie. And then there he is, of course, on set, operating that, and then there that is right there. Cute, right? But everybody was kind of wondering, is he a white Martian? Is Mr. Handsome a white Martian? That's what a lot of people were assuming. Not the case. Lex Luthor created him when he was 12 in a petri dish. Insane. Okay. What else we got? We got some behind the scenes right here of Corn Sweat doing some flying on set. And it looks pretty funny.
Go.
A little mishap right here.
2, 1, go.
A little too much oomph. Oh, shit.
Go. In.
It's pretty funny. Looks like he got a massive atomic wedgie right there with those undies that he's wearing. Okay. So we had that. And then we have another behind-the-scenes featurette when it comes to Superman. Of course, this is when we have the Lux stage, I guess you could say, from Triumph Studios. Pretty cool little montage right here.
Ready? Action!
We shot in Georgia. It was great, man, because it's a great place to shoot. It has great facilities for filmmaking down in Atlanta.
Philip is fun. It's an interesting concept. You got the studios here, you got the little town across the street. You keep it insular, and it's efficient.
That's
The studio,
table
I
read.
mean, is obviously, I've never seen anything like it in terms of the scale. It's just massive what they built here. It's really something else.
The people has been so great, so welcoming. I am sad that I'm leaving actually in a couple days. My husband and I have been considering like, should we just move here?
When I think about shooting Superman, the thing that I think about immediately is the crew.
I'm a person who likes to work with the same people again and again, which are largely people that live here in Atlanta.
It's just been a blast. We've had so much fun.
It feels like we get to foster a community here for a certain amount of time and be a part of this special thing.
Dun, 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 dun. So there you go, a little behind-the-scenes featurette when it comes to the Lux stage at Triumph Studios. You ever just been chilling and then you're like, hey, I'm about to get punched into a black hole or get a bus to the face to a black hole? And there's David Cornsweat wearing the Ultraman, of course, costume. And he's just like, about to get sent off into a black hole, I guess, right? Yeah, remember when everybody was going, who is behind the mask? Who's Ultraman? There was even people going, what if it's Henry Cavill? Which would have been fucking crazy. And I kind of want to travel to that universe where that happened just to see the absolute chaos that would have been all over the internet if that would have been the case. Wouldn't that have been insane? But, you know, of course, I think a lot of us were like, yeah, it's just his clone. There you go. Oh, he got sent off in a black hole. Did he die? If he didn't die, he's Bizarro. We got it. We got it. It was a little underwhelming. I was kind of hoping it was going to be something like pretty damn crazy. And then, yeah, guys, November 18th, you guys, I mean, I have a couple of these books, but yeah, you can have the art and making of the film of Superman. That was also announced, and that's coming out again. You could pre-order it on Amazon if you want to. And then, yeah, you got an introduction by James Gunn, foreword by David Cornsweat, and written by James Field. So you get all that, and you're going to get, of course, everything, and yeah, you can purchase it, pre-order it, do all the things. So I might pick that one up. Sounds pretty good. And then we got Ulrich Thompson, and you guys, who the hell is that? Well, that's who's playing Sinestro in the Lantern series, and pretty much he's wrapped. Everything's wrapped when it comes to Lanterns. He said, "Bye for now, Sinestro. I'll keep one side for later." For later. That's right. Is Sinestro going to be showing up later. I guess we'll have to find out when it comes to, at least when it comes to the Lantern series, which a lot of people are looking forward to, 100%. So cool. Oh, and then we got this right here. Man, I'm a sucker. I'm a sucker for a good stunt viz video. Oh, I love stunt viz videos because, man, sometimes I'm going, hey, who directed this? Who directed this stunt viz video? Can you actually direct the entire fucking movie? Because it gets intense. Like, the people who are, especially, again, I'm a big stunt. I love stunts. I love it when I see the stunts in progress, and power to the stunt men and women out there. I'm glad they're finally getting their category recognized by the Academy and award season and everything, as it damn well should. But stunt viz videos are crazy. And we got Stunt Justin right here, which of course is Justin Howell, who was David Cornsweat's stunt, double. And he posted this video that is, got all the crazy action that he had to perform. Mute that. Probably can't use that, but look at all this. I love the camera work. Why is the camera work always so freaking cool when it comes to these kind of videos? The camera work is always cool because you know why? The stuntmen are also operating the cameras. So they're moving in all kind of crazy, it's just so freaking cool. Look at that. Just, yeah. Gotta love all that, man. I love a good stunt viz. I love a good stunt viz video. I mean, it's just something about it. Just crazy wire work. And like I said, there's a lot of craziness that happened in the movie when it came to the wire work. Obviously David Cornsweat did some of it too. But I mean, if you want to make it look really, really good, you gotta have somebody who just knows how to work those wires really well. And okay, and then now we have this right here. James Gunn, Jimmy Guns. That's right. I gotta call him Jimmy Guns. Remember that. That's the name. I was like, no, don't call him James Gunn. Call him Jimmy Guns. Explain to us what is canon and what is not. Okay? There's been a lot of things over the years. I mean, let's face it. Things have changed. And that's the thing. He puts his foot in his mouth when it comes to explaining things, and then he has to correct himself. And the thing is, it's like, you can't, when you say something, maybe just don't say it. Just maybe like, no, let's just wait. Because during the writing process, maybe things end up being canon and things end up not being canon. I mean, I could perfectly understand that. I'm not going to hold it against him, but yeah, Jimmy Gunn's right here, of course. He's explaining the DCU canon.
The DCU begins canonically with Creature Commandos, and then Superman continues the DCU, and then Peacemaker Season 2 continues from there. Now, that's the basics. If you really want to keep it simple and not confused, just know that those three things are canon. Anything that we show in the previously seen on Peacemaker,
that makes sense,
then becomes canon. Anything that they talk about having happened in the old world, that then becomes canon. We know, for instance, that Rick Flag's son was killed in Corto Maltese because we hear him talk about it in Creature Commandos. But what you really need to know is everything is canon from Creature Commandos, Superman, through Peacemaker Season 2. That's for the people that really want to get into the weeds.
Are we good now? Maybe not. I don't know. But, it's like I said, as the writing process goes on, it's like, oh, yeah, well, maybe there's some things, So if it's basically talked about, like, previously on canon. And apparently, according to some people who've already seen some things, particular that are more in the know, have said, like, oh, yeah, wait till you see how they do it. It's like, okay. You have my attention. I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I'm looking forward to Peacemaker Season 2. How the hell are you doing this? How you doing this? That's pretty much it, When it comes to DCU news, that's it. All right, let's talk about the main topic here because I have to talk about this. Where is it at? Man, of course, now I can't find. Come on. All right, never mind. Why is it like, I swear, Twitter. Okay, Twitter is just fun. I need to find it better. Okay, so Superman is now the top domestic grossing Superman movie of all time. That's right, guys. Top grossing. And it's about to, I guess, by tomorrow, it'll be over 300 million. And no other Superman movie, solo Superman movie, has made over $300 million at the domestic box office grossing. So I posted that, as you can see right here. Top domestic grossing Superman now. Sweet. That's all I posted. And many agreed and everything. But of course, I wasn't sure if this tweet was going to go a little crazy, but you just never know. But it was just something standard. I wasn't trying to stir any pot. Wasn't trying to stir the pot. Yeah, I'm stirring pot. You stir pot? I don't know. No, you just grow it, water it. Anyways. So that's all. And then, of course, most people are just like, retweet, most people. But then, of course, you're going to get the chuckleheads. You got to get the chuckleheads in there. And holy shit. It's just kind of funny. Like I said, I'm actually getting tired of talking about box office. I'm really getting tired of talking about box office. So I'm going to mention some of this right now. Just because, there are people, literally, that I'm going, do you not know what grossing means? Okay? Just the word grossing. Like the gross. The money earned. The money it currently has earned. That's it. Okay? Oh yeah, somebody said, and still lost to a pair of boobs, which I thought was funny. And then, of course, it shows Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, and then I said, as every movie should. You can have some jokes. Well, you have somebody who's like, there was literally somebody I went like, why all of a sudden we talking about box office? Why all of a sudden we talking about so much box office when it comes to Superman? I don't get it. Like, when are we talking about all this box office when it comes to Superman? Are you fucking kidding me? When do we not talk about box office, especially when it comes to big movies? And Superman, ever since it's been announced, has been under a goddamn microscope from the very beginning. From the people who want it to fail. So you're now all of a sudden, when I click on this guy's name, guess what you see? He is a Snyder fan, a diehard Snyder fan. And then I'm just like, yeah, you and your buddies have been analyzing and shitting on this like crazy. So of course, now, what you do you not like the fact that now that it has the domestic gross? That's probably what it is. And then somebody even said, domestic being the key word. I am so proud of you. His last name is Gore. I am so proud of you. Yes, domestic is the key word, because if I don't have domestic in my tweet, it's a lie. Domestic actually makes it a fact. Wow. And then, of course, the biggest thing, which was crazy. Well, then, of course, I had somebody actually compare it to Black Panther. They're like, oh, yeah, success, clown. And I'm like, you're comparing it to Black Panther, a movie that came out 7 years ago? Black Panther, the historic, iconic movie that was universally praised? You're comparing that to this? I was like, what? That's not even such a terrible comparison. Again, oh man, the stupidity, the educational system has failed us, everyone. And then, of course, when you have people that just can't understand simple terms like gross or even domestic, we're not counting inflation. When you have the term gross, that's just, again, the money that was pulled in. Okay? We're not counting, nobody when it goes like, how much was the gross? Well, put it this way. If you were going to be like, hey, how much did this company over here, how much did Amazon or Tesla or whatever the fuck, how much did they earn in 2020, 5 years ago? Well, they earned this much money. And then, okay, everybody just kind of goes, okay, that's how much they made in 2020. Does anybody go, okay, but what is that now? What is that in today's money? Nobody ever does that, because the money doesn't just magically appear and be put in people's wallets. Okay? Yes, we do the inflation thing 100%. But when I see people like literally right here, this one jackass goes, Superman 78 made $1.4 billion. No, it did not. It made 300.4. Okay? But If it were released today with the same amount of tickets that were sold back then, yes, it would have been 1.4. But that doesn't magically make the money, 2025 money, and send it back in time to the studio where they get that $1.4 billion. Gross. That's all. It's the gross. I get it. The inflation, yes. It's an analytic. It shows you Superman the movie, Superman 78, sold more tickets. Man of Steel, currently, sold more tickets. And that's how you kind of look at things. Like, what would have that been now? If you take the average ticket price and you apply that to now, and you do the equation, yes. My head hurts with some of these people. When they were saying, no, Superman made that much. No, it didn't. We're not. But the thing is, it's moving the goalpost. They're moving the goalpost because they wanted this movie to succeed. They were saying that it wasn't even going to cross like 400. They thought this movie was going to flop, but the fact that it's made $500 million, now that narrative is starting to weaken, so they're still trying to hold on. They're trying to hold on. No! It's like, no, it's not what it is. We get the numbers. I get the numbers. Everything. You know? Man, I even had some jackass that goes, you never talk about box office. What? Every Monday I talk about box office, domestic and worldwide. I posted on my Twitter what the new movie made, domestic, worldwide. Oh man, I was having a little fun yesterday with some of these idiots. But I'm just going, man, it is all fail. Oh, even somebody said, oh yeah, well, they considered The Little Mermaid a failure and they made $570.7 million, but this was a success? Well, first off, what was the budget of Little Mermaid? Something tells me it was a little bit more than Superman. And I don't know how many times I have to tell you, the way that they're looking at it as success, oh yeah, they would definitely want it. Because in and of itself, again, I don't know how many times I have to say this, in and of itself, Superman is probably not going to break even because it needs to make about 375 to 700 million to really just break even and start making a profit. Okay, because if you do the equation, you know, like I said, 2.5, 3 times the production budget. To me, when I look at Little Mermaid, I'm like, well, that seems like a success, but people just didn't like it. It just didn't strike a chord in people. That's all. I don't know. I was like, really going to be comparing it to Little Mermaid. It's like, wow, the reach. These guys must have pulled muscles because of all the reach that's happening. Terminology, people. Superman 2025, James Gunn Superman, is the top gross domestic box office at the top, number 1. Okay? Without anything, just by the term itself of gross. Yes, when you start breaking down the inflation, Man of Steel and the first Superman movies sold more tickets. We get it. But that's why you're seeing the headlines, because in and of itself, of those terms, relax. Go the fuck outside. All right. I'm telling you. It's like these guys, like, the whole meaning of life is to do this. It's weird. All right, let's look at this Variety article when it comes to Marvel Studios. Let's kind of go through this right here. Kevin Feige, talking about everything. And, yeah, this is also another one by good old Tatiana Segal. But, hey, we're going to open it up anyways. But here's the article. Marvel's next moves, Black Panther 3 and Young X-Men Cast. To keep the cost down, Blade and Deadpool 4 are lower priorities. Yeah, we know that Blade is a very low priority. Jesus Christ. And then, of course, it talks about this, the Superman thing. And then it says, of course, when it says, like, the ambitious plans for 2 Avengers movies in 2026 and 2027, respectively, followed by an X-Men reboot further out on the horizon. And then, of course, talking about previous things. Yeah, things are different now. There's a reset of what a hit is, and I don't see them consistently hitting $1 billion as before. Yeah, it's almost like things have changed, but... if depending on what side of whatever the fuck fandom and what narrative you're trying to put out there in your fucking imaginary world, apparently everything is supposed to be exactly how it was 10 years ago, 8 years ago, and everything. But people can't seem to get out of their fucking bubbles, man. Without China, without Disney Plus exposure post-COVID, without megastars, says one top agent who represents several clients in the Marvel Universe, China used Marvel, Disney, and the U.S. film industry to seed their own. But China? Yeah. Adds one insider, the lost China windfall. We are never going to have those days again. That reality has changed the calculus at Marvel, led by Kevin Feige, when it comes to making a movie like X-Men. Thunderbolts helmer Jake Schreier is set to direct the tentpole, with the studio fine-tuning Michael Leslie's script. Casting will begin soon, and the field is wide open, but Marvel has indicated to reps that it is looking for younger talent rather than A-listers to keep the cost down, says another agent. Marvel is holding July 23rd, 2027 on the release calendar for an unnamed film, but sources say it won't be filled by X-Men. Marvel declined to comment the story. And then, of course, talking about a lot more of everything else. We already talked about the Robert Downey Jr. thing, and yeah, it just kind of breaks things down. Young cast for X-Men. Smart. Get some fresh faces. That's what they're going to have to start doing. Look at what DC Studios is doing. They got some fresh faces when it comes to that. When it comes to Superman, get some fresh faces. You keep those costs down. I mean, that's what we have to do right now. And again, when people are just fighting back and forth, when we're talking about box office, we're talking about this, we're talking about that, depending on whether you like the movie or whether you're not, you're trying to use it against it. It's like, yeah, things are different now. And it's sad when I see even people that I'm acquaintances with that want things to fail, and they just go, what are you talking? You know, it's like, come on, things are different now. Yes, they are. We went through a pandemic. Do you remember that? Do you all the streaming services? You know that? I mean, there's a lot of things that are affecting the entire box office, not just the superhero movies that you like or hate. It's affecting all the movies. And yes, the biggest thing, the biggest test of all this, the biggest, wow, it's going to be Avatar 3. It's going to be Avatar Fire and Ash. First two Avatar movies, $2 billion. I do not think that this movie is going to make $2 billion. Is it going to make $1 billion? It might. It definitely has more of a chance of that. That's what's going to be interesting. People. Yeah. All right. Excuse me. Sipping my little wine here. All right, let's talk about The Naked Gun. Naked Gun's coming out this weekend. I'm seeing it tomorrow night with my dad. We're very much looking forward to it. Just me and him, so that's going to be good. And you know, the original Naked Gun classic, also the sequels. I was a little bit worried about this one. Still kind of am. And, you know, the original creator, David Zucker, apparently got screwed over when it came to this because he wanted to do another sequel and then it got taken away from him. So he's been on some podcasts and talked about how, yeah, he kind of got screwed over when it came to this. But at least right now, when it comes to the Devil Fruit site and the hype online, people are liking it. People are loving it. 91% certified fresh, 108 reviews. There's not a synopsis. All right, let's just go ahead and dive into it. Let's go to Top Critics. Why not? So we can get a couple of bad. You know, I like to read the good and the bad, but like I said, it's going to be more good than bad. Let's start with the Boston Globe. Despite being so paint by numbers faithful to the first Naked Gun movie's plot beats that you can point them out, this is still pretty damn funny. As basement dwelling as some of these gags are, just know that Schaefer is often choreographing them as precisely as a John Wick fight, narrowly pulling back punches and landing punchlines instead. Interesting. And then we have our first bad one right here from Michael Phillips from the Chicago Tribune. In the end, though, this Naked Gun has little interest or temperamental skill in the art of deadpan throwaway, which was the crucial element in Police Squad and intermittently in the three movies. So it didn't quite land with him. Any lingering doubts should be assuaged by the resumes of the Naked Gun team, which are perfectly suited to this style of humor and assault of absurdity. It's a very, very funny film, so cheerful and light on its feet that it all but erases the outside world for 85 sparkling minutes, replacing it with a better one. That's pretty good. The new film does not have Nielsen or the original trilogy's creative brain trust, but director Akiva Schaffer and actor Liam Neeson pull off a consistently amusing Frashman. All right, let's read one more bad one, and then that's it. It would be crazy to hail The Naked Gun as something better than it is, since its simply existing is cause for celebration. But like most reboots, the best thing about the new Naked Gun is that it might send you back to the original. Yeah, all right. I mean, that makes sense. That's what's going to happen. People are going to compare it to the original, as we do. And it's never, and I don't think any of us are thinking it's going to beat the original. Of course not. We also have that Together movie, I think, coming out this weekend, too. And that movie's at a 97% right now. Woo! I do want to see this, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to catch it because I'm going away this weekend. 97 reviews, 97%. Apparently, people are loving this movie. Given an extra sinew of authenticity by the meta-textual casting of, obviously, Alison Brie and Dave Franco, who are married in real life, at the top of their game, Together is a body horror that's emotionally sticking as it is memorably gnawing. Oh, okay. So there you go. All right. So there's your Naked Gun and a little bit of Together. Together is, I'm probably going to end up catching it on stream, and I do want to see it. I'm like, wow, that looks really interesting. I'm like, what is... Because they keep it such a mystery. Such a mystery. All right. Last, but certainly not least, Cliff Booth. The continuing adventures of Cliff Booth. It's hard to do that. Cliff Booth. Starting to sound like frickin' Mike Tyson. Cliff Booth. It started filming. And the first images of Brad Pitt have been shown online, and there's been mixed reactions. I don't know if you guys saw this, but yes, we have our first look at him in the continuing adventures of Cliff Booth. There he is. Okay. Looks like that. Looks like kind of like him. What the fuck is going on with that hair, though? What is happening with that hair? Well, it's a wig. Of course. If you saw how Brad Pitt looked like recently, he's got a buzz cut. So that is not his real hair. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, that's going to throw some things off because it does look ridiculous. But then I go, well, remember, guys, this is still written by Quentin Tarantino. This is directed by David Fincher. And Mr. Scott McClellan brought up this when we were talking about it. There is a chance that maybe it is a wig in the movie. Because he is a stuntman, so he has to put on wigs. And I know the whole plot is like him trying to help fix studios, but maybe he's doing that for a reason. So maybe it's supposed to look ridiculous. I don't know. There's that too. There's that possibility. And I was like, oh yeah, good point. Maybe he does have a buzz cut in this, and he's wearing that for those reasons. But maybe not. And again, this is just some set photos, and maybe it'll look better when we see the actual movie. But again, written by Quentin Tarantino, directed by David Fincher. So I'm okay. Still gonna watch it. It's just weird that this character showed up in a really fucking good Quentin Tarantino movie that we saw in the movie theater. And now we're going to see it on Netflix, not on the big screen. That seems like an injustice. Netflix, well, I mean, they have the Netflix theater over in Burbank or LA or whatever. Maybe they'll show it there, and maybe I'll have to drive over there to go see it. I don't know. But yeah, can't judge set photos. You never can judge set photos, but just, but then, like I said, Scott and I were talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, maybe it is supposed to be a wig. So that very well could be the case too. All right, guys. Whoa, dropping the pen. All right, that's the show today. Gotta love it. Like I said, thank you guys for spending time with me. And like I said, I was interacting with the chat, so hopefully I didn't get too much madness when it came to the chat. But yeah, hit that like, thumbs up, do all the things. DC Fanimated later. It's also going to be premiered And we're going to do a members-only stream after this. So members, look forward to that on your feed. And if you want to be a part of it, become part of the membership. Show support for the channel, or you could be part of the Patreon too. That's also available down there. So, and I appreciate everybody who supports the channel. I'll start shouting out your names a little bit more. I'm kind of working on that, where I was doing that for a bit, and I'm gonna bring it back and then show even more names and everything. So, all right, guys, love you, members. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Everybody else, oh yeah, no vodka stream this Friday. I'll remind everybody on the feeds. No vodka stream. I'll be out of town, so no vodka stream this weekend. But all right, guys, love ya. Talk to you later.